Hi, and welcome to this recording for Brisbane Magic Legacy. My name is Warren Hawkins. I'm a relatively recent local player. I moved up here in January, but I've been on the commentary a few times now. I'm also a level 2 judge, but I dabble predominantly in Legacy these days with a bit of Modern. And joining me today is...
Josh Andresen. I've just moved here from Adelaide. I'm a level 1 judge and still relatively new to Legacy.
Right, well, today what we have going for us is an interesting match. I found this quite enjoyable while we were playing. We had a good laugh out of it, but we have Jake playing Esper Stoneblade versus Eric playing Blue-White Stoneblade.
Blue-White.
So it's got to be pretty close to a mirror, but with some interesting stuff coming out of both. But Josh and I have decided that we're going to spice things up a little bit. We're going to make a drinking game out of this.
Absolutely.
So the rules are, we've already determined who's representing each player. And we're going to have a drink if every time our chosen player plays a brainstorm, every time our chosen player cracks a fetch, we're going to have 2 drinks if our chosen player loses the game, and we're going to neck half our drink if there's a judge call, and there is a judge call in this, and I know that it's going to be me that's drinking because I've backed Jake in this, and he's just going to fuck me already. So let's have at it.
I haven't seen much of this, and I'm backing Eric, so hopefully he does well for me.
Yeah, like I said, if Jared wants us to continue this later on and is happy for us playing drinking games while commentating matches, leave your comments below or send us a message and let us know if there's any amended rules. There's not always a Legacy match. Sometimes it's Modern, so if you send us something that can be used for either Legacy or Modern, that'd be swell. But this match was recorded on the 5th of March 2019. It is round 3 in, so it should be relatively good. So, if further ado, let's crack on.
Let's crack on. I love that playmat from Eric.
Why so salty?
Why so salty? Everybody that plays Lantern should have this. Or some sort of control.
Everyone that plays Lantern's just a cunt. So, they're shuffled up, they're presented. Please look at this current point in time. They're both playing similar coloured sleeves of the same deck. So we have a tour from Eric.
Box cards from Eric. That's another rule. Whoever goes first drinks has a drink.
Can if you want. So Jake's just rolled a 7. So I'd find it very hard to believe that. Yeah, so Eric's on the play. They both keep their 7 and they go from there. They're happy with what they've got. So yeah, like we said, it's Esper Stoneblade versus Blue-White Stoneblade. This should be relatively interesting. I think this will basically boil down to who gets GT with counters on it first, like the D&T mirror so often does.
I already see a brainstorm in Eric's hand. It's going to be another drink.
Yeah. What about a Force wheel? Should we be drinking on the Forces as well?
Forces could be fun.
Let's drink on Force.
Let's drink on Forces.
Drink
on... absolutely. No brainstorm turn 1.
Right. So, there's a ponder. We didn't say a ponder.
We should do cantrips.
If we want to have premature liver failure, maybe, but I figure just if we say brainstorm, it's brainstorm, right?
Yeah, sure. So he decides to top both and...
Well, not shuffle anyway, right?
Not shuffle and draw a card.
And all 3. It's ponder, not preordain. But preordain is seeing more and more headway into Legacy at this point in time. Oh look, there's a fetch on the table. I might be looking to have a bit of a sip soon. So we have a Stoneforge in hand, but he's got the source to be able to get white.
Yeah, there's a drink
fetch drink. He's got to be getting a white source here, trying to land that Stoneforge ASAP. But so he's resolving his fetch. What's he going to get? I'll be surprised if it wasn't a basic plains. Yeah, there it is.
Plains, yeah. Just to try and play around the wasteland.
Wastelands. I mean, Jake's on 3 colours, so I'd be surprised to see many wastelands coming out of that deck. But I mean, it's also good practice. Back to basics is so prevalent in our meta at the moment that everyone seems to be packing basics these days if they can get away with it.
Absolutely.
So I got the Stoneforge, get the Batter Skull.
Must have a Ditto already in hand.
That, or he's just like, let's close this game out, right? Fetch, drink.
That's a nice one.
Right, so this is where we see the critical fuck up. Fucking Jake, you fucking idiot. Right, so what if you just missed what's happened? His opponent was finishing shuffling up, showing the Batter Skull, presented his deck to cut, and Jake was finishing resolving his fetch, went to shuffle, and he just picked up his opponent's deck and put it together. Note that they're both playing with the ivories from Dragon Shield.
And it's almost essentially the same deck.
Yes,
One's
so
black.
we don't have the sound on this, but they found this quite funny. I've found this quite funny. I think everyone involved has found this quite funny. But unfortunately, this does result in a judge call, and Jake is my backed player, so I'm going to have to top half my drink in a second. So we'll cut away from here. Right. So we've cut, we've resolved, and we'll finish that fuck up. I've still got to finish my half my drink too. Rush out of swords on that Stoneforge. You don't want the Batter Skull coming in quickly, but Spell Pierce. They're very
puts a stop to it.
Yes, but that wild gesticulation, you can't hear what they're saying right now, but they're very animated. I think he's still trying to explain how he fucked it up. But interestingly, he wasn't playing Legacy last night. He was behind the counter in a blue shirt. Maybe because he doesn't want to do this ever again.
Too much shame.
Yep. Hang your head in shame, good sir.
Hang your head.
Right, so we've got another Ponder. God, I wish that was Brainstorms for you.
I'm glad they're not.
I'm lagging a bit behind at the moment. Yeah, so it's just a bit of argy-bargy at the moment, pushing back and forth. He's holding up that 2 mana so he can activate the Stoneforge, not really trying to hide the fact that, I'm going to activate Stoneforge at some point.
Oh, another fetch land.
Yeah. Passes the turn. We get Jake with representing team non-basic with 2 Tundras and an Underground Sea in play. What's he going for here? I think he's going to try and rush out another Swords. Yep.
Yep, rushes the Swords.
Fuck that thing right off. But it's a little bit late now.
Eric's got to put a...
Yeah, he's got to dump it now.
Yeah, Batter Skull.
Look at that Jeremy boy. Eric's secretly playing some black in his deck in the germ itself. Exactly. Oh look, Stoneforge comes to the party.
On the other side.
It's a Stoneforge party. Party. Count your hand. I don't know, just flicking cards. Like I must.
There's not. Oh, he's still deciding whether or not it's going to resolve.
I guess that is a point. Now don't fuck the deck thing up again.
Just remember where you put your deck. Just hold it all together. We're teetering.
Like GT seems really good here, but he's getting pressured by that Batter Skull so much. So he's getting Sword of Fire and Ice. I guess it makes it more awkward for Eric to be able to fight with.
Jake joking about the sleeves being...
Probably. I wonder if they're still both playing those sleeves now. Is this where you just... Well, you can't mark the sleeves.
No, you can't.
To say, these are mine. I very much doubt you'd be able to do it uniformly enough to say, these are mine, all with the black Sharpie in the dead centre of the thing.
And swords back.
Lots of swords flying around at the moment. But
This
they're not
one
swords anymore.
resolves.
They're not swords anymore, they're plowshares. The swords are being changed to plowshares. Jake representing with his judge foil swords to plowshares, whereas Eric's just playing that. I believe it's the Therese Nielsen art now, isn't it? I can't see anymore. The foil, the glare off of the light and the on the sleeves are making it a bit difficult to see. But
Eric not attacking here.
no, he still has a fetch land ready to.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he has attacked. Yeah, sorry, he has attacked.
He has attacked. Yes.
Remember vigilance.
Yes.
Can't see that. Can't see that on the board. But 16 to 24 at the moment. Oh, True
there's
Name
a
Nemesis
True Name.
is going to put the brakes on that pretty quickly if it doesn't deal with it.
And a counter spell.
Good old counterspell with a Force Wheel.
With the
Force
Force
Wheel's a
back.
drink. That's me.
The force back. Cracking a fetch. That's me.
There's going to be a Spell Pierce to follow it up. Bad boys. What's he going to do?
Is he going to get another basic?
At this point, I think he's pretty safe. Like
Yeah.
he knows, Jake's playing so many non-basics that he's like, well, what's he going to do really?
If he does play a
Yep.
Brainstorm, there's one for me.
Yep. Brainstorm. Fully Brainstorm.
Looking for that counter magic to try and push back against the push.
So they're trying to flex a little bit here on the counter spells. Put 2 back. He's not found much, I don't think. Yep. Whole pile resolves with True Name Nemesis readily there to block the gem. No life for Eric left for that, and Jake's sitting there happily behind a 3-1 that just grins and... Oh, spoke too soon.
Spoke too soon.
I'll vote for that True Name Nemesis too, shall I?
Yes.
Like, it feels
hits
really...
again with the gem.
Sometimes I feel like it's so hard. Like, I feel like Council Judgment is so bad, but it's so good at the same time. Like, it feels bad having to pay 3 for that effect, but it does so much work. Oh, so we got another Spell Pierce out. He's just got so many Spell Pierces. Check his sleeves. Up his jumper sleeves.
Or he might have got some of Jake's Spell Pierces in his deck.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah. I forgot about that, yeah. They could be... Check afterwards as the more than 4 Spell Pierces.
Exactly.
Because Jake actually got 60 cards in his deck here at the moment. So I think Jake's really on the back foot here. He's looking at 7 versus 31. He's got another Stoneforge to contend with now. There comes the GT.
Another GT.
I can't really think of the Hail Mary here that Jake can be considering. Oh, Council's Judgment.
But what would you name in this?
I think it has to be Batterskull at the moment because Batterskull is pressuring you so much. Next turn he can cast the... If he casts the GT, leaves it open to counter magic. Or if he dumps it into play with Stoneforge, he can't attack that turn, so... Yeah.
He has put the Batterskull into Graveyard, not Exile.
Yeah. But
Gameplay error?
Yeah. That should be fixed up. But again, this is Regrel, so... We all know what's going on. So he's cast it, yeah. He risks being able to cast it into it to get the GT online quicker. To take a turn off of it.
Puts 2 counters straight on.
So, if Jake cracks that fetch, that's lethal from there. That Stoneforge is representing lethal.
And Jake is really thinking about that.
As he is lifting up his fetch land, I was lifting up a pint.
He's done it. He's got to have some sort of answer to this. Otherwise, the GT will just kill... You're hoping there's... If he had a True Name...
True Name would be fine here. Swords of Plowshares, I think he'd be happy with here.
Yep.
Obviously, Council's Judgment again.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, he's only got 4 lands, so he can't snap Councils.
Or some sort of Edict effect, because he is playing the black.
Yeah, he's only got the 1 creature to contend with at the moment. The creature is representing lethal, but there is a lot of things Jake could be doing here to dig himself out of this. He's not stone cold dead.
I do see...
Tapping 3 looks like a True Name. Oh, no, it's a Liliana.
That's not going to do a lot, but he does have a Fluster and that Sword of Fire and Ice.
Sword of Fire and Ice, yes, we forgot about Sword of Fire and Ice. It's been a while. The Liliana Last Hope, I don't know what he's intending to do with that all that much, right? Not a lot when he gets Force of Willed. That's you.
Yeah, that is me.
Oh, here comes the Flusterstorm. They'll happily take care of the Force of Will. Oh yes, that's right, he's reducing its power.
Yes.
So it's not lethal at this point in time.
Not quite lethal, but it's still...
I forget the modes of Liliana Last Hope, except for the one that beats you to death when she ultimates and she just keeps on crapping zombies out.
That's that one.
Not that. Yeah, that's Last Hope.
The ulti is...
Yeah, that's the most relevant one I think of. I'm like, yeah.
And, yeah, JTMS.
What's better, Liliana Last Hope or Jason Mind Sculptor? I don't play black, so I'm biased towards Jace. And it has just been, like, I guess we could always use the argument. Jace has been banned in formats before. Liliana the Last Hope got overlooked for a fair while.
Yes.
So...
Resolving the Brainstorm from Jason Mind Sculptor.
Yep, play another fetch land.
Swings in
Swing.
with Stoneforge.
Is he just going to bump it up once to get count, so it actually deals damage and bump counters on it? No, he's dealing it all to Liliana.
He's dealing all 4 damage to Liliana.
He's removed the counters, put 2 more counters back on it. Yeah, just clarifying there, I think the counters on GT, not the...
Yeah, the counters... Oh, the GT removes the counters, but...
Yeah.
Puff.
An effect on it. I love GT. That card is so wonderfully fun.
GT is good fun.
It is good fun. Unless you're playing a D&T where your opponent has it.
There's
the Edict.
Which is going to be...
He's got a Stifle in hand, which isn't doing a lot for him at this point in time.
No.
So, tick up Liliana for no effect. And plays his own GT. Grand Prix GTA. That's the one I've got in my D&T deck. I do love that one. Like, that's also because I'm not willing to dish out the stupid amount of money for a set for GTA, but like, I guess it's Umezawa's GTA. You only care about the GTA, you don't care about Umezawa as well. But
I got a brainstorm from Eric. So,
that's you.
but that's from Jace.
Oh.
Jace's brainstorm.
I guess the card. I guess it technically doesn't say brainstorm.
It does not say brainstorm.
I think we need to harass with this rule.
I'm quite in favour of this currently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if
Quit being a
Jason's
bitch. Quit being a bitch.
if the Jason's on the other side, he did fetch, so that's another me.
I'm so glad we brought this stuff to the table because this match looks like we're going to empty these pretty quickly.
Yes. I've caught up to you.
They're all being very particular about how they shuffle and present now, and
There's
not
a brainstorm.
That's an actual factual brainstorm. Yes. Get that into you. Goodness.
Looks at one more card.
He's digging for
no,
something.
he did fetch in between.
Oh yes, he does get to get rid of some of the shit. Jake looks happy as a pig as shit right now.
But it does reveal, I think, it does look like 3 couple lands.
Yes.
Just what he doesn't want to see on the top of his...
I mean, yeah, the weakness here with the artifacts is the equipment is you need a creature to equip them to, right? Like,
Exactly.
Otherwise it all just falls down. The beauty of Batterskull is it does come in with one.
Ooh,
Back to
and
basics.
Back to basics.
Wrecked, son. Oh, fucking.
That's gonna hurt.
But Eric's not doing a lot here to pressure him anymore. Oh, quick snap fetch, but he's only on 5, but he's not doing a lot to pressure him. But that Liliana is getting close to the ultimate as it
It's
is.
only on 2 at the moment.
No, sorry.
He did attack down to 1, up 1, now to 3.
Yeah, that's my bad. I saw the numbers coming through the casino dice.
Exactly.
That's why I thought it said 5. Jared, sort your fucking dice out.
They do need better dice. Well,
the casino...
the red ones are okay. It's the yellow ones that you can see through.
Yeah, the casino dice are nice and usually visible, but the yellow one just screws me a little bit. Jake wistfully looking at his lands that he can't untap. Another fetch. Like, Eric does not care about his life total at this point until he does when that Liliana does get up there. He needs something to do with this Liliana before it runs away. He needs that creature.
He really does.
But at the moment, Jake's just happy here. I think with that fetch land just sitting there looking pretty, he's waiting for that to hoping to have a removal. If a creature sticks, he can deal with it.
Absolutely. There's a fetch land. I'll take an agree.
Yeah.
There's quite a few fetch lands.
Yeah. But Eric is looking at a lot of cards as well, so...
Exactly. With a brainstorm on a Planeswalker every turn, it's allowing him to try and find that creature so he can equip that GT and get the job done.
Absolutely, and that the constant fetching means he can shuffle away the shit, and he just gets to see 3 fresh cards a lot of the times. I feel like at this point in time, with Jake just ticking up a Liliana versus Eric looking at all these cards, I feel like Eric's going to find a creature and be able to stick it before Jake is something impactful with that Liliana.
Not to mention the land difference.
The land difference, I think it doesn't make so much... Like, okay, yes, it hurts. But Jake's just looking for removal. He's asking... looks like he's asking a judge question. That means I gotta finish this.
Well, it's not really a judge call.
He's asking about...
Just a question.
He's clarifying something. We've just written down here half for judge. Alright.
So, Jake's still clarifying something. He's plus the Liliana. Crack the fetch line, so that's another drink. And there's the stifle.
Wrecked.
He's been sitting in his hand collecting dust for so long, and there's a fetch land.
Stifle, not a card you often see outside of a Rug Delver match, but... Yeah. Oh, well, actually, I'm kind of surprised the Stifle waited until that. I would have been using it to stifle the Liliana Ultimate, because that's the thing you're probably most concerned about here.
Exactly.
I forgot about the Stifle being in his hand.
But the chances are he's probably missing. It's not a one-of in the deck. He's hoping to draw either a creature or another one between now and the next.
I dare say he's just hoping to kill.
He's hoping it's any sort of creature or threat of some description before that little. And there's a Snapcaster, quickly followed by Concede by Jake.
Yep, I mean it's a creature. Jake doesn't have an answer for it, considering he has no land at this point.
So what was the player loss in this one?
2 drinks.
Ooh, 2 fingers.
That's right. I'm just gonna finish up after that.
Jake joking about shuffling his opponent's deck back into his library.
I feel like this is going to be a meme. We need to come up with some meme for this now.
Absolutely. I actually want to get a playmat.
Why so salty?
No, that too, but just your opponent's deck, your deck for cutting.
Maybe we should get Jake a playmat, reminding
and give
him.
it to Jake.
I don't think it's considered outside assistance if you just remind him to shuffle his own fucking deck rather than his opponent's deck.
Or just written big letters across the playmat saying, "Don't shuffle your opponent's library into yours."
I mean, he's got a bit of flack for this at the moment, but it is hilarious. It is all in good fun. He is actually quite a nice guy. He's quite a good player. I felt really bad for him on Tuesday watching him play against D&T. He was playing, I think, Miracles, and it looked so miserable from Jake's perspective.
We've played that matchup.
We've played that matchup
a few
a fair bit, yeah. At the moment, I'm not playing Miracles or D&T. I'm trying out little Terramander boy, but...
Terry the Terramander.
Yeah. Terry the Terrifying Salamander. But, yeah, it's been quite good at the moment. They're still deliberating. I haven't seen what cards are coming out here. I was too preoccupied pouring a new drink. And taking my punishment for Jake getting beaten like a little...
Scrubbing out.
Little bitch. Yeah, so, I mean, this shouldn't take too much longer. We'll just... Still do... What is he pulling out? I'm having a look at Eric's because he looks like he's pulling cards out. I can't really see what he's pulling out.
It's too quick. He's just throwing cards
Yep,
out.
that's crap, that's crap. Oh, that might not be crap. Crap.
Still shuffling.
I feel like one card that comes in here is if you've got more Council's Judgment than the sideboard, they come snap straight in. Artifact removal, so in white you're looking at things like Disenchant. There's probably a good one. I always usually run a Seal of Cleansing and a Serenity in the sideboard of my D&T deck because that's hilarious, but a fair few people disagree with me on that.
So it looks like Eric's taking out a sort of...
I see Pithing Needles coming in for Jake. It looks like Stoneforges have come out for Jake. Yeah, I see a Stoneforge in his hand at that moment, at this point. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Jared, we missed the last one. That 1, 2, 3 was the only second lot. Fucked up. So Eric's shuffling up. Eric's
I did see an Esper Charm in Eric's.
Ooh, yeah. In Jake's, rather.
In Jake's, sorry, yeah.
I was going to say, I think Eric would have a hard time playing Esper Charm.
Absolutely, but yeah, I saw a quick Esper Charm in the sideboard of Jake.
Bring Esper Charm up on screen. Or we look at it here. Jake
just fucking dribbling shit as normal.
Stop your chin wagging. Can we get a judge on this about slow play? This is some bullshit right now. At least he's not hard-cutting us.
Separating the deck so Jake doesn't...
Right, now we cut my deck. Now you can have my deck. It's all the way the fuck over there. Jake holding it at arm's length. Right, no, cool. No, oh, that's too close, boys, too close. Oh, you cheeky bastard.
Drawing from an opponent's library.
That's
got to be an absolute judge call. What are we seeing in Eric's hand there? I see a JTMS, Tundra... Basic Islands, Fetch Lands. Jake's, I see
he's got a fair few lands in hand.
I think I saw a Mana Drain.
Oh, they're both keeping. You can't have a Mana Drain. It's not Legacy legal.
Oh.
I'm not playing Vintage here. Right. So we've got our island up, but not much else.
It's a Brainstorm.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's holding up for end of turn Brainstorm, but we see the Ponder come down first. Does he want to keep it? I mean... pretty early in the game to start shuffling crap away already.
Oh, he's deciding, he's thinking about it. There is at least a land there. He's put it land on top
take the
to
land.
draw the land.
I guess you can't Thoughtseize the land out.
Here's an end of turn Brainstorm.
Brainstorm, that's me.
That's a drink.
That is me. Did he just try drawing for his opponent's deck again?
Yes, I think he's trying to...
mean this too far.
Way too far.
Fuck with.
What a knob jockey.
Right, I wonder how much of this Jared senses. Or does he just ship it off to somebody else and say, nah, these guys are shit?
I'm pretty sure he's going to ship it off to someone else.
I will see.
So thirsty, but don't need to drink, so I shouldn't.
Okay, so go to fetch, so I should probably just hold my glass ready and waiting.
So,
Eric, island drop, go. Go for it.
Draw land, go.
Yeah. Oh, look, another brainstorm. I'm just lining this up.
Plays a Savannah.
Okay, I guess I was going to say surprising, but yeah.
Esper.
It's all 3 colours, isn't it?
At least he's got that basic land for when that back to basics does hit.
Oh yeah, damn, he does have a basic land. I didn't even register that. My bad.
Fetch land, draw land, go.
Here goes the brainstorm. I'm already
and
drinking.
And the brainstorm from Jake. Draws 3 cards. Land, snap.
Well, I think that.
Edict.
Yeah, C goes away.
Yeah, C can be fetched away anyway. So does he shuffle and swords to plowshare?
Yeah, swords and C.
Swords and C back.
Yep, crack.
No, he draws the C.
I know.
So swords to plowshare on top and drops a.
Oh, Liliana, start that pressure now. I mean, we saw last game how close Liliana was to getting Eric's nuts to the bandsaw, so brainstorm in response to Liliana.
That's
dig for that counterspell that counterspell action.
Let's make another one. Deciding what 2 cards to put back on top.
So I was a little bit engrossed by, a little bit captivated by Josh making his new drink.
And finishing off that bottle.
Right. Don't regret. Don't worry. We didn't start the bottle this match. We're not that bad.
We're bad, but we're not that bad.
He's bad.
So that Liliana resolves.
Oh, but he. Interesting. Eric does have a Council Judgment in hand, so I feel like it's going to go double fetch, get white sources.
So that's
Council's Judgment.
That's me having 2 drinks while just finishing pouring this.
Yeah, so he's got a Plains, and I feel like he's getting a Tundra here because he has to, because the other land was a Scalding Tarn.
Needs that double white for Council's Judgment.
Oh, he's got an island.
So he does have the Council's Judgment.
He does have the Council's Judgment.
Does.
I saw it in hand. I'm positive I saw it in hand. Okay, I'm pretty positive I saw it in hand.
2 drinks.
Keep it away from his deck. He's learned his lesson. They got the hand to demarcate between the decks. I think Jake's just saying here, it's probably just better if I don't touch your deck a little. Oh, he's getting JC Boy out.
JTMS.
Still interesting.
That's met with a force.
Force is me.
Snapcaster.
Jake, I'm tapping with the Liliana. I guess Eric has a fetch.
There's a fetch land.
Yep.
Warren.
I mean, I guess the alternative is Eric doesn't have to rush out the Council Judgment now because he's not, like, the Liliana Last Hope's not doing anything to him at this point in time.
He just needs to protect it with everything. Does, interestingly, get another basic for that back to basics, so he doesn't get entirely rooted by 1 card.
Yes, absolutely, but I feel like here it's... Yeah, so we've got another Polluted Delta. He looks like he's lining up a True Name.
True Name.
No, Ashiok. What the actual fuck? Jared, can you please bring Ashiok up on screen?
Ashiok is an interesting addition, milling your opponent.
Yeah. So we see Snapcaster. He's sequestered a Snapcaster away under Ashiok. It's exile top 3, you may cast creatures, right?
Yeah, X. Yeah. Put a creature card with converted mana cost X.
Yeah.
Exiled with Ashiok into the battlefield under your control. It is a nightmare in addition to its other types.
I can agree. Snapcaster can sometimes be quite the nightmare.
Exactly.
So I guess that's a little bit cheeky. Like, Ashiok is not something you expect. Actually, I think I have seen him play Ashiok a couple of times. It's just like, what the actual fuck? I think the first time I played Legacy in Brisbane, I was playing against Jake and he played Ashiok. I was just blown away. It was a really interesting game.
That's a fetch line from me.
So, he's got another island. So at this point, what do you think the most pressing thing is for him? Do you reckon it's the Ashiok, or do you reckon it's still the Liliana the Last Hope? The Liliana the Last Hope is on 5.
Ashiok, not so much. He kind of does want to answer it, but there's also
What the
that...
fuck is he tapping? He's hard casting batters. Oh, it's a fairy.
Teferi. He's answered back with a Teferi.
Teferi does get to tuck things. Oh, he's taking the draw option at this point.
He's drawing and untapping. But yeah, he does want to answer that Ashiok, but the more pressing is that Liliana ult. Once that ults...
It's so incredibly hard to come back from. There's nothing you can do about the emblem. Funniest thing I've seen with a Liliana Last Hope emblem, a guy I was observing while I was judging a Legacy tournament looked absolutely fucked, dead on board, so many zombies looking down, and he just goes, Entomb, get Massacre Worm, reanimate, you're dead.
He did end up stifling the Ashiok trigger.
Again, interesting, because...
Does not mill in that, does not exile those top 3 cards, but then Jake does answer with a Jason Mind Sculptor.
Jake here playing Esper Super Friends now. I think it's a transformational sideboard. Stoneblade from Stoneblade to Super Friends. What other planeswalkers are good enough for him to be jamming into this Esper pile of shit?
Teferi. Have not seen Teferi just yet.
Have not seen Teferi just yet, correct. I feel like at this point Jake might be concerned about that stifle. Maybe he's trying to look for some counter magic to counter magic any stifles for that Liliana ultimate that looks prime and ready to go off.
They're both deep in the tank.
No.
They were in the tank. They're just thinking about it, deciding what plays to make.
Here's 3. Here's the Council Judgment, I believe. What's he voting for?
It has to result. Yeah, it does.
I'd be voting for Liliana at this point. That Liliana is so cool. Ooh, Ashiok is on 7.
Ashiok, yeah. Ashiok's ulti is negative 10. Exile all cards from your opponent's graveyard.
Yeah.
Graveyards, if for multiplayer.
Yeah, I feel like that's not the most impactful thing. Like,
it really isn't.
You'd expect him to be able to fight through a rest in peace and that.
It's a fairy bouncing.
Or maybe he was hoping Jake absolutely misclicked and voted for one of his own other planeswalkers as well.
Absolutely.
Oh no, Teferi deals with the Liliana.
Teferi deals with the Liliana.
1, 2, and then Liliana. 3 cards down.
3 cards deep.
That's right. Back to Jake. Does he want to?
Yeah.
Does he want to? He gets to see it straight back again with Jace. So, Teferi not the 100% clean answer to it, but it does hamper that completely.
And does put it off by 2 turns.
So, I mean, it slows that Liliana race right down. Even Jake recognising how pang that move is with the OK finger. So, that's bad. Don't worry. Josh just wrote me a joke because he thought it was probably inappropriate for camera, and I probably agree. He'd probably be censored. I mean, if we're looking for that competition with what would Jared censor, that'd probably be that'd be south of the line. That'd be Victoria.
There's a council judgment voting for that Teferi.
That Teferi is going to be a massive pain in the ass for Jake, especially afterwards. He was so close with that Liliana. That Liliana would have sealed up the game, I would have felt.
Oh, the decks are, covering
Protect
your
it.
opponent's deck so they don't get...
You guys are playing with fire. Are you sure that is your deck, Jake? So, what the fuck is this?
Tapping 2 for a
Bitter
Blossom.
Spell snare.
Spell snare.
Not something you terribly see running around, but I've seen it a few times recently in the Brisbane meta.
There is...
Bit weird.
There's
funny.
quite a few 2-drops going around.
There is a fair few 2-drops. But
Being, like,
I guess in blue-white he doesn't have access to nicer kind of spells against blue shit like Red Blast or Pyroblast.
Exactly.
Oh, I saw a true name in that pile that he took there. I feel like
Brainstorm, true name.
Swords on
Plains.
top, and a Brainstorm.
Oh, no, not Brainstorm.
Did he just put the true name back on top?
Plays the fetch land.
He's shuffling away, that's me.
Shuffling away, obviously he doesn't want whatever he put on top. Oh.
He's playing another Ashiok. When one Ashiok doesn't do it, you drop another one.
Exactly. So, searches for a black source, so he can play Ashiok.
Oh, he gets a
Stoneforge.
See, why keep your Stoneforge Mystics in your main deck when you can Ashiok your opponents out?
But he does, more importantly, hit a back to basics.
I guess that is a problem card that Jake has to come across. So getting rid of it in exile is a nice way to get rid of it beforehand, considering...
Indefinitely, until the next game at least.
Yes, well, we'll see how this winds up. There's a fair bit of pushing and shoving here, but no one's really doing anything to really pressure everything. It's just back and forth at the moment. I'm wondering how much longer Jake's going to wait until he starts potentially ticking up that Jace to start putting a clock on him as well.
Exactly.
So we've got a brainstorm.
Brainstorm. That'll be me.
That will be you.
Deciding what he wants to put back. I see at least a couple lands in his hand. It
Oh,
counts as
exactly.
Judgment and a sword. So he's
I
put
feel like
back a
there's a
land.
I thought there was a swords he put back as well.
Well, he does have one at the top of his hand there.
Yeah.
There's another fetch land.
Yeah. Play with...
The swords really has got no target for at this point in time.
I don't think either of them played a creature. I don't think Jake ever got that Snapcaster out of the Ash Shock the first time around, did he?
A creature has not actually hit the board this
Yeah,
time.
and yeah, just
All
as
these
note,
super
the Snapcaster exiled under Ashiok version 1.0 is no longer accessible by Ashiok 2.0, the returned. Because when it says Ashiok, it does refer to that individual card. That individual card got fucked off.
And
So this is new Ashiok.
there it goes again.
Oh,
Does not want that Stoneforge to hit the battlefield. And there's a back to basics to no effect at this point in time.
Jake, yes, that next level play of, I'm going to tap all my basics unless I absolutely have to.
Exactly.
Pays off for him here, paying dividends. Maybe he's looking for that bloody Esper Charm bullshit now. Oh,
That sideboard, he does look like...
oh, he's tapping out.
He does need
he's
double
tapping-
black. That he just drew the
That's
Liliana.
No, he had the Liliana in hand a while ago. I think it's just
Oh, you
it's
played
just the
it.
first time he's decided this is actually the best time to play it.
Exactly.
I guess, I mean, if your opponent's done a back to basics, you're pressuring with that Liliana again, right?
Exactly.
Oh, and now he's starting to top up the Jace as well. Trying to control the
Fate's-
top of Eric's deck.
Fate sealing Eric.
Fate Seal Eric away, giving him 2 points of pressure that he has to be concerned about. Does Eric have an answer for both a Jace and a Liliana?
He has used 2 Council's Judgment on the 2 Ashioks thus far. Didn't quite see what he has in hand.
Oh, look.
Plays his own
Plays Jace as well. However, Brainstorm in response.
Brainstorm.
That's
Getting ready
me.
to pitch that straight to the bin. Looks top, sees a Liliana, a Jace, and I think a land.
I mean, at this point, Jace is 5 turns away from closing out the game. Whereas Liliana, I feel, is a lot closer. Well, Liliana's emblem comes down a lot closer, but she doesn't finish out the game at that point.
No.
But at that point, the game is effectively over. Maybe.
Deciding what he wants to put back, puts back a Liliana and another card.
Yes. So, I failed to see what was in Jake's hand. I feel like that flick there from Eric said that was just a Swords to Plowshares, which isn't the most incredibly helpful. Yeah, it is a Swords.
He has not put that. So he brainstorms with Jace, debating whether or not to put back the swords. And he does, as there have been no creatures thus far.
Jake, crack a fetch.
Cracking a fetch,
Right.
going down to 15 life.
Wow, they're both at 15 at this point of the game. How long has this game been going on for? This one is a lot more of a grind than the last.
Exactly. All the super friends hindering what people want to do, and no creatures have hit the board.
I'm wondering if we see Ashiok come up in War of the Spark.
Maybe.
Actually, no, I think
Well, there
no.
is. Ashiok is on
It was
the...
in a stained glass.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I wonder what they'll do with them. Ashiok, a very interesting creature, a very interesting character as far as Magic lore is concerned. If you're in that Vorthos sort of frame of mind. Pithing Needles.
Piercing needles.
Oh, that super sucks at the moment. You can't name Jason Wise Sculptor because he shuts off his own. But at the moment, Jace is the only thing really digging Eric out of.
Brainstorms with Jace, sees
feel like
a
he's-
snap and a true name.
Is he brainstorming with Jace so he gets
Yeah.
one last hurrah with it? He puts the Pithing Needle back on top. No fetch land, so he's got that coming up with for him. Like, this back to basics has not really done anything against
not
Jake
this
at this
game.
point. He's just, if anything, he's getting land flooded as it is, which is super unfortunate when you got a back to basics on
we
your side
drop-
of the benefit.
I
There's a
see
true name, a Snapcaster.
Snapcaster. First creature has hit the board.
I feel like he'd be going for here the Council's Judgment. Why Pithy Needle Jace when you can cancel Judgment your opponent's one and continue rocking on with your own, right?
Exactly, and
Counterspell? Counterspell deals with
Snapcaster is met with a
Snapcaster.
Snapcaster.
Does this Windmill Slam True Name? So we've got a few different clocks that Jake's presenting here. And a few different angles of attack, which Eric has to deal with. Is he dealing with a True Name? Is he dealing with the Liliana? Or is he dealing with the Jace?
The Jace didn't tick up last turn, so that's less of a threat than either the Liliana or the True Name Nemesis at this point in time.
Yeah, so at the moment, the True Name Nemesis presents a 5-turn clock, whereas Liliana is, I think, considerably less.
But Liliana does add to the True Name clock.
It does, yes. It speeds up that clock if you don't deal the True Name. So I think what Eric would be looking for here, I don't know how many Council's Judgments has he rocked already?
He's already gone through 2, both with that.
Oh, I was about to say, he's looking for a
Snapcaster who's hit the...
He read our mind. So, what do you vote for in this regard?
Ooh. True Name does...
I feel like True Name, you've got probably more answers for Liliana than you do True Name.
Exactly.
But we shall see. He's gone with Liliana.
He is going with Liliana.
Yeah. I feel
Jake
like...
wisely chooses Liliana as well.
Yes. I feel like... Oh, okay, see, he's presenting more creatures, which I think could have been used to deal with that Liliana, potentially.
Yes, but Liliana...
So, Sword of Fire and Ice, so if you equip the Sword of Fire and Ice, Jace can't deal with it.
And True Name can't block it.
True Name can't block it, so 2 ships passing in the night. However, this creature with Sword of Fire and Ice is typically going to be dealing a lot more damage than the...
True Name Nemesis, and because they're both on equal life.
They're both on equal life, but it also keeps the Jace in check as well, because you can always hit your opponent, shock the Jace.
Exactly.
And you're also drawing more cards. Because who doesn't like more cards?
Is that disenchantment I see in his hands?
In whose?
Or is that needed?
Jake's.
I think Jake's got an edict.
I definitely saw a swords. There's the swords, the Judge Foil.
Yep.
Pithy Needle.
Pithy Needle.
Naming...
Just deciding what...
Sword of Fire and Ice, that's a good call here.
That is a very good call. True Name Nemesis beats down the Jace.
Deal with Jace there. That's a Ponder by the looks of things. I can't see it's gone off camera.
Ponder.
Law and Ponder. Not a fan of Law and Ponder art, but that's just me. I realise I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but I prefer 3 moons.
Time is called at the end of... during round... Game 2.
Yeah, so turn 0 of 5. I guess they didn't get much time as a result of the Monumental Jake fuck up.
But hits
Swords. This is him pretty much saying, right, we're not playing this damage game.
Maybe it is because he...
So we're on to turn 1.
This is...
Untap here. At this point in time, it's going to be a 101 at this point. I can't see how either player pulls it out of the bag here, unless Jake slams some massive equipment and equips it to that True Name. I can't see how he pulls himself out. Eric here, I feel like, has got nothing to close out the game with this number of turns. That's the problem when you're playing the blue-white decks, is it's so hard to close it out in this sort of quick fashion. Batterskull?
Eric's just looking right now.
Batterskull here says, I draw this game. I win the match 101.
Eric's just looking to draw this game out to try and at least get the win.
So a draw here for Eric is a win for the match. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything Jake can do against that. I mean, this has been a hard-fought game. This second game has been an absolute slogfest. It's been going back and forth. Jake presenting different avenues of attack. Eric having to try really hard to dig answers for those avenues of attack. Disenchant the Batterskull. Subsequently deals with the Germ.
Looks
Swing for
longingly
3.
in his hand at the Sword of Fire and Ice.
Yeah. So we go to turn 2.
Of note, that Back to Basics has kept the 3 dual lands from Jake tapped down.
Yeah, it still doesn't feel like it's been an issue for him though. But yeah, I mean, Jake's at this point going brainstorm with Jace because Jace doesn't do anything with just the top deck.
There's a Snapcaster, Council's
Judgment deals with the Oh, deals with the pithy noodle.
Yeah, so then he could cast the...
Sword of Fire and Ice, but I can't equip it this turn. He's only got one more turn, so it doesn't... Like, Sword of Fire and Ice here doesn't really do anything. Again,
Snapcaster.
Eric wiping his hands in glee for a 101 match win.
Snapcaster hits...
He's just going to hardcast Force of Will anyway. Fucking go out on your own terms. Jake's just look at the top of his opponent's deck now, why not? And yeah, pass the turn, going quietly into the night with a whimper, where Eric has shown the blue white has eventually gotten there. Like Jake's, I was not expecting Ashiok, but does he just sword his own creature just to say fuck you?
Swords his own snap just to.
So they both end the game on. Oh no, they shake their hands. Eric wins the match 101. Jake, you absolute fucking madman.
If you hadn't had that call, you might have won this match.
I don't know. I mean,
it might have gotten a lot closer than it did.
So the end of the match. Yeah. So we've had a blast commentating this match. I'm feeling a little bit more
inebriated.
Inebriated, yes, is a good word for it. Than I did at the start of the match.
Lubricated.
Yeah, socially lubricated, as it were. So yeah, if you're keen for us to continue these sorts of drinking game commentaries,
shenanigans,
if you let us know what other rules we should have, because I feel like the brainstorm crack fetch 2 for a player losing, which I was the only one that drunk out of that, fucking fuck knuckle. The half for a judge call and a drink on a Force of Will. That didn't get us as far as we thought it would.
I don't think Eric cast a single Force of Will. I might have missed a couple.
Soft cock. All right, we'll leave it with you there. That's us done. And
we'll see you next time.
Until next time, have a good one. We'll see you later.